Roughly, I guess, over the past 8 months or something, I've done this YouTube channel and another one. And altogether, there's probably 400 videos. I don't know. How many comments have there been? I think 3. There have been a few people also on Instagram, because I post some of these on Instagram too. So, a comment is significant in whatever environment this is. A comment is very significant. And I received yesterday, this is the most carefully considered comment of all these months of everything that I uploaded. And, you know, I'm dedicating this to that comment. And I'm going to read the comment. I experienced this as a gift because doing what I've been doing is a solipsistic experience. And the other thing is that because of my ideas about rhetorical and dialectical competition and agonism, rhetorical and dialectical confrontation between individuals who are competing in a regime of knowledge, I have very well-defined views, and I am passionate. And my views are heavily influenced by a number of thinkers, but most closely relevant these days is Gottlob Frege, by virtue of the great care taken about sentences. It is important to mention that if Frege demands sentence and Derrida demands text, we're not too far off in the basic methodological assumptions. Of course, the metaphysics, the theories of signification immediately diverge from the starting blocks. Frege and Derrida have fundamentally different intuitions about what's involved in signification itself. And that determines the trajectories of their work, very, very different bodies of work. Nevertheless, both are very, 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 both are committed in some strong sense to text and or sentence. Now, if you're a deconstructionist, you follow Derrida, you say, oh, what's so special about a sentence anyway? Are you reifying some kind of Platonic universal and so on? We don't need sentences anyway. We've got all kinds of fragments. What about the spelling of a, I can spell the letter W, right? the word DOUBLE dash however you spell that. I don't even know how you spell W. How do you spell W? Fuck. The word W stands for one character. So Frege approaches this one way, Derrida approaches that a different way, and there's going to be a hard divergence on that question. Questions pertaining to the signification of a letter. What is the signifier that stands for one grapheme, one character? Anyway, I'm gonna read this. So this is from this video that I did, evidence pertaining to the epistemic crisis. It's only a few videos back, and I will omit the author, but I will read the comment, and I hope I haven't crossed any lines, dear interlocutor, who I am grateful to, because your response literally contributes to not only the well-being of our civic discourse, but it contributes to my mental well-being. Sorry. Because when your mother yells at you and says, I don't have a fucking concept of resistance, Dimitri, and then you sheepishly say, oh, then why are you using the word? My mother doesn't deserve that, but the president does. Capisci? So they say, I listened. I'm not sure I followed, but and they emphasize several times that they don't know if they followed, and here I am thinking how and belaboring certain points, so my view gets distorted. And feedback like this really is so essential for me to gauge exactly where I'm potentially engaging. Otherwise, I'm just literally shooting in the dark. I'm not sure I followed, but it interested me because I think you were saying that we are not communicating with each other effectively, and the lack of a foundation of defensible truth is the cause. Once again, the lack of a foundation of defensible truth is the cause. So the word foundation does the work there. Yeah. Once again, I can't tell if I'm able to comprehend, but is it this? You asked us to come to the discussion with a point of view that is logical, reality-based, and defensible because it has a base. That is, Jesus taught us this, or the Declaration states our agreement in society for these principles. We are lacking in our ability to have useful discussion. Did I get anywhere close? 100%. I wrote back, outstanding inquiry, you got it. We can fuss all we want about facts or reality dissolving or having been dissolved. However, if dialogue is to be objectively productive, it basically has to be trackable and scrutable by the community. Whatever the fact is, no discussion proceeds unless two people in conversation can not agree on a fact, but agree to start with one fact, hypothetically, right? The moment the terminology diverges, we have talking past one another. And then I further commented, because I am insatiable. I'm intellectually insatiable. Didn't I tell you that? I say we are in a kind of pre-Samizdat Freeze-Out. That's my kind of phenomenological description for what's going on right now. Everybody is silent. You hear the word politics, you run in the other direction. And it feels especially uncomfortable to me because I can see that as a society, we've never been through anything like this. And yet we know from our historians and from testimony, those are historians too, the people who lived through it, we know about Stalin. Or take your pick. Anybody. We know. We know what's happening. So if you're like me, the impulse is to scream and as loud as possible now, before it's too late. I think the more common impulse is to just distract yourself, cross your fingers, and hope it all goes away. However, you know, I'm a Generation X kid. We learned a lot in civics class. We saw a lot of films on World War II. We learned a lot about martial law and police states and stuff like that. It was a basic part of the curriculum. I mean, what are you studying in U.S. civics other than phenomena of martial law and civil disobedience, right? As related to whatever's laid out in the Constitution. That's what a U.S. civics course is, right? I wonder it's a semester right now. What's the date? It's January. We have new semester right now. Probably even some semesters are starting at the right today. You take a U.S. history course or a civics course or something. What's the instructor going to be teaching? Sit in a classroom and learn about martial law when it's being imposed on top of your head? Well, maybe. But do you intend to do something about it, dear professors of history? I'm not going to name you. You know who you are. Yale History Department.